This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Thursday, November 6th of 2025. We're so glad you can join us for today's show. We'll have a check of the closing markets coming up soon, but first, I have coverage of a donation to the Food Bank of Iowa from earlier this week. First off, here is Food Bank of Iowa President and CEO Tammy Nielsen to talk about the impact of this donation.
We just got a donation from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, 72,000 pounds of food. What a great donation. What great timing to get that, right?
Yeah, fabulous timing. And this was scheduled long before the government shutdown. And so it could not have come at a better time. And we're pleased, with the partnership from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They've been wonderful partners in our work. And so grateful to host them today and to receive that second truckload.
And like we were talking about earlier, we saw a donation from them last year. Great to see it again this year. And hopefully this continues for as long as it can. This is a great thing to see.
Oh, absolutely. They are wonderful partners to us and really care about our mission. And so we keep in great communication with them and are grateful for their partnership with the Food Bank of Iowa.
We know a lot of things have changed with food insecurity and just even the past week here in Iowa. The loss of SNAP benefits, and we were pretty much in the dark last time that you and I talked about what was going to happen next. We have seen some announcements since then from Governor Reynolds on matching private donations to food banks across the state. We know that's going to be very helpful.
Yes.
We still have a long ways to go, though, right?
Yes, that's a wonderful investment in our neighbors in need from the state, and so grateful that Governor Reynolds put that program together. And we are highlighting on our social media and welcoming people to donate to receive that match. And so that will be hugely beneficial as we see the need just skyrocket. With those SNAP benefits not being distributed for the month of November, a lot of folks don't know where their next meal is coming from. And so they're relying on our partners who rely on us to get food to them to hand to those neighbors in need. So there has never been a time like this. Unprecedented is a word that we heard a lot during COVID, and it's kind of rearing its head again, that these are unprecedented times.
And something I really appreciate about this donation in particular is that there's the usual, items that people think of when they're donating to a food bank. So you've got canned vegetables, non-perishables, but there's also some of the things that are much more, and a lot of people like to say normal or just give a sense of normalcy. Like for kids, there's pudding cups that were donated, spaghetti and spaghetti sauce for meals that don't just feel like they're just being, from a can.
Yes.
And there's a lot of that normalcy that I see in this donation.
Absolutely, and hot chocolate. And here we are, hot chocolate season, coming our way. And so also on today's truckload was laundry detergent. And that's something that even if you do have SNAP dollars, that is an item that you can't buy. And so we all know that's expensive as well. So that donation of laundry detergent included in this truckload was a fantastic addition.
And for people who are interested in donating, like I said, we have a long road to go, but we're making a lot of good progress.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of new people who want to donate as well. And I know that the food items and physical item donations are always really appreciated. Those monetary donations can go even further though, right?
Yeah, we have buying power because we buy by the truckload. So we can get a lot more than you can get at your local grocery store for that same dollar. And so we are grateful for all donations, but those monetary donations allow us to feed more people than if you brought in items, but we certainly welcome those as well. A lot of folks are doing food drives for us. And so a wonderful way to support the neighbors in need. And so we appreciate all those donations and are grateful for everyone.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of those donations ticking up in local communities recently. It's really, really great to see. For anyone specifically who wants to reach out to the food bank, either to donate or receive donations, how can they do that?
So if they just jump on our website, foodbankiowa.org, there's a button if you need help. There's a find food button. Get your food anywhere near you. Tell you those pantry providers, meal sites, And then if you have the capacity to donate, there's a donate button and also volunteers. So there's, you can find it all at foodbankiowa.org, and we are grateful for the support. We could not do this without our community.
I also had the chance to visit with Susan Sims with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Of course, they were the ones who made that donation, and it's a very significant donation that comes at a very great time.
And a big donation today of 72,000 pounds of food to the Food Bank of Iowa. There's no greater time of need for that food right now. Tell us about this donation and kind of your guys' mindset behind that.
Well, this is part of our global humanitarian effort. We are a global church, and we strive to care for and lift others throughout the world. And this particular donation, which came in 2 trucks over the course of the last few weeks to the Food Bank of Iowa, is our effort to assist the Food Bank of Iowa in their tremendous work that they do in meeting the needs of Iowans in their 55-county service area. We know that we are just one church, and many churches are striving to help in different ways, but we're really grateful for the chance that we have to make a fairly substantial donation to help them have enough food to meet the need at this difficult time.
And we know that donations like this, especially a food donation, very much aligns with what you guys are trying to accomplish already, right?
Yes, it is part of our faith to care for those in need, and also very much a part of our faith to give dignity to everyone. We believe that everyone is a child of God and deserving of that dignity. And it's very difficult to feel like you have dignity if you don't have food. It's very difficult to feel like you have dignity if you can't think to do your job because you don't have enough nutrition. And so when organizations like the Food Bank of Iowa and the other food banks in Iowa and throughout the United States do the hard work every day to make sure that people have that food, we can play a part in that as part of our discipleship and give to those and help them have that dignity. We want everyone to be able to be self-reliant, and sometimes you need help getting to that point.
And touch on that partnership with the Food Bank of Iowa as well. I know last year there was a donation from you guys as well to the food bank, and things are a bit different right now because of that heightened demand, but that really lines up with the partnership Food Bank of Iowa partnering with a lot of great donors across the state.
And they do, and I don't really know all the donors, and I think a lot of those are substantial and significant donations. What we've been able to do in Iowa in the last several years, frankly, both in giving to the Food Bank of Iowa in the last couple of years, also the Des Moines Area Religious Council, and the other food banks throughout the state, is show our support for the work that they do and show our support for our neighbors. The second great commandment of Jesus Christ is to love your neighbor. And this is our effort at loving our neighbor. We can't do everything, but we can do something. And it's very much part of our faith to do that.
Thanks again to the Food Bank of Iowa for allowing us to cover those donations as always. And also thanks to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for making that donation. It's a very important time to see food going to food banks across the state. We'll go ahead and take a look at the closing markets. And right now we have Jason Meyer of agmarket.net joining us today. First off, Jason, what do we see going on in the grains?
Riley, it was a pretty ugly day in the grain market if you want to be long the markets. Soybeans kind of had been rallying kind of on the Chinese news, but also the ideas that the Argentine crushers were going to strike. That strike was averted at the last minute. So that started putting a little bit of pressure in the grain markets early in the overnight. And then there's a lot of talks that the tariffs that the Supreme Court is looking at right now from President Trump might not be legal. So that's got a lot of consternation in the marketplace that if we can't tariff other countries, those products can come into our countries, and vice versa. It makes it a little bit tougher for our grains and especially meats to be competitive in the world marketplace.
And then we have that suddenly announced WASDE report as well coming up next week. I know some people were anticipating maybe some big news to come out of it, but what it sounds like right now is it's just a report that has basically, it's basically going to ignore the fact that we didn't have a report in October. I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, well, October didn't happen. We're looking at the report now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what the government comes up with on the 14th there. But we've heard that some of our customers have actually been called by USDA folks, just kind of the normal cause for searching for numbers ahead of the report. So how impactful these numbers are going to be or how accurate these numbers are going to be, that's still going to be up for debate. But at least the market's going to have some numbers to trade off of.
And then moving on to the livestock side of things, how did cattle and hogs trade today?
The cattle and hog markets, just the trend is your friend, and for the livestock growers, that trend is not friendly. The cattle market gapped lower on the opening, kind of just based off this ideas with tariffs. And if these tariffs go away, we could see more Brazilian beef coming in, Argentine beef. So that's got the cattle market a little bit spooked. There's more talks about Trump wanting to reopen the border to Mexico with the feeder cattle. So that's put some pressure on the cattle market. And the hog market just can't catch a bid for this last, month and a half here, and closed on the lows of the day here.
All right, Jason, lots of great information today. For anyone who would like to get in touch with the team at agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Go to our website, agmarket.net, and give myself or one of my teammates a call, and we'll be happy to chat with you.
All right, Jason, thanks again for the analysis as always, and we look forward to talking again soon.
Thanks, Riley. Everybody have a good day now.
That again was Jason Meyer of agmarket.net. We'll take a look at how the numbers close through the market window at iowaagnet.com. At the close, December corn down 6.5 at 428 3/4. January soybeans down 26 3/4 at 1107 1/2. December soybean meal down 12.10 at 312.70. Soybean oil down 34 cents at 49.35. Chicago wheat down 19 1/4 at 535 1/2. Kansas City hard red winter wheat down 17 3/4 at 522 1/4. Minneapolis spring wheat up 3/4 of a cent at 557 even. December oats down 6.5 at 294 1/2. On the Merc, December live cattle down $1.75 at 218.77. November feeders down 3.67 at 322.05. December lean hogs down $1.62 at 78.97. Pork cutout went unchanged at 95 even, and November Class 3 milk up a dime at 17.19. And that's been a check of the markets here at Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our daily ag news content online at iowaagnet.com. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.